Have you ever noticed how we wait for others to speak life into us? We stand there desperately hoping someone will notice our worth, acknowledge our potential, or simply say the words we've been longing to hear. But what if I told you that the most powerful voice you'll ever hear is already within you? What if the blessings you've been seeking from others were meant to come from your own lips first? Let me share something profound with you. Every morning, millions of people wake up and immediately reach for their phones, scanning through messages, hoping to find validation in the words of others. They scroll through social media, measuring their worth against the carefully curated highlights of strangers' lives. And in that simple morning ritual, they've already given away their power to bless themselves. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that our value must be confirmed by external sources. We've learned to doubt the whispers of our own hearts and dismiss the wisdom of our inner voice. But here's the truth that's going to transform your life today. The most significant conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Think about the last time you looked in the mirror. What words crossed your mind? Were they words of criticism or blessing? Did you focus on what needed to be fixed? Or did you acknowledge the miracle standing before you? Most of us have become masters at speaking curses upon ourselves, experts at highlighting our own perceived inadequacies. But today, right here, in this moment, we're going to break that pattern together. Because when you truly understand the power of speaking blessings upon yourself, you'll realize that you've been holding the key to your transformation all along. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what others say about you and what you say about yourself. In fact, your own words carry far more weight because you repeat them countless times throughout the day. Every time you say, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," you're not just expressing a thought, you're programming your future. The ancient wisdom traditions understood this profound truth. They knew that words have the power to create reality. When you speak a blessing upon yourself, you're not engaging in empty positive thinking. You're actually rewiring your brain's neural pathways. You're creating new possibilities in your consciousness that eventually manifest in your external world. Let me ask you something. If you could hear a recording of every word you've spoken about yourself in the past week, would it sound like a blessing or a curse? Would it build you up or tear you down? Most people are shocked when they realize how often they sabotage themselves with their own words. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain is literally waiting for your instructions. It's like a sophisticated computer that will run whatever program you install. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're installing new software that will transform how you show up in the world. Think about a garden for a moment. If you plant tomato seeds, you don't wake up wondering if cucumbers might grow instead. You know with absolute certainty that you'll get tomatoes. The words you speak about yourself are seeds, and they will always produce after their kind. Always. There are no exceptions to this universal law. So why do we find it so difficult to speak blessings upon ourselves? Often, it's because we're carrying around outdated programming from our past. Maybe someone told you that self-praise is vanity. Perhaps you learned that humility means putting yourself down. These are misconceptions that have kept countless people trapped in patterns of self-defeat. True humility isn't about denying your worth. It's about acknowledging the infinite potential within you and using it in service of others. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not being arrogant. You're aligning with the truth of who you really are. Let's do something powerful right now. I want you to think about an area of your life where you've been struggling. Got it? Now, what words have you been speaking over that situation? Have you been prophesying failure or success? Have you been speaking life or death over your dreams? You see, speaking blessings upon yourself isn't about denying reality. It's about creating a new reality. It's about understanding that your words are like a chisel, constantly sculpting your future. Every time you open your mouth, you're either building walls or bridges to your desired destiny. Consider how a master sculptor approaches a block of marble. They don't see just the raw stone. They see the masterpiece waiting to be revealed. That's how you need to approach yourself. When you look in the mirror, don't just see what is, see what could be. And then use your words to call forth that potential. Remember, the universe doesn't hear your wishes. It hears your words. It doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to your declarations. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not just engaging in positive thinking. You're participating in the creative process of shaping your destiny. But here's something crucial to understand. Speaking blessings upon yourself isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging where you are while simultaneously calling forth where you're going. It's about being honest about your current reality while maintaining an unwavering faith in your potential. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history began with someone speaking a blessing over what seemed impossible. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every triumph started with someone daring to declare what could be, even when all evidence pointed to the contrary. What if today, right now, you decided to become your own best encourager? What if you chose to be the first person to speak life over your dreams, your goals, your potential? What if instead of waiting for someone else to validate your worth, you became the primary source of your own validation? The power of this shift in perspective cannot be overstated. When you begin to speak blessings upon yourself, you create an energetic field that attracts similar energy. People will begin to respond to you differently. Opportunities will start to align, and circumstances will begin to shift in your favor. But knowing this truth isn't enough. We need to understand why we resist speaking blessings upon ourselves. And it goes deeper than you might think. Have you ever noticed how easily we can compliment others, yet when someone compliments us, we deflect it? We minimize it. We explain it away. That's not humility. That's fear. We fear our own light. We fear our own power. We fear what might happen if we actually started believing in our own magnificence. Because if we believe in ourselves fully, then we have to act. We have to live up to that belief. And that means stepping out of our comfort zone, risking failure, facing judgment. So instead, we play small. We speak curses disguised as practicality. It's a profound truth that might shake you to your core. Your words are not describing your reality. They are creating it. Every single day, you are prophesying your future through the words you speak about yourself. When you say, "I'm always late," you're not describing a fact. You're programming a pattern. When you say, "I'm not good with money," you're not stating a truth. You're writing a script that your life will faithfully follow. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who've achieved what you dream of achieving. Do you think they got there by speaking curses over themselves? Do you think they spent their mornings listing all the reasons why they couldn't succeed? Of course not. They spoke their victory before it manifested. They blessed their path even when they couldn't see the whole journey. Let me share something powerful with you. In the depths of your being, there's a voice that knows your true worth. It's the voice that whispers to you in moments of quiet courage. It's the voice that tells you that you were meant for more. But here's the tragedy. Most people have learned to silence that voice. They've covered it up with layers of doubt, years of negative self-talk, and the crushing weight of other people's expectations. But today, we're going to do something revolutionary. We're going to start listening to that voice again. We're going to amplify it. We're going to let it speak through us. Because when you align your words with your inner truth, miracles happen. Mountains move. Doors open. The impossible becomes possible. Consider that every word you speak has a frequency, an energy that ripples out into the universe. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not just making sounds. You're sending out vibrations that align with success, with abundance, with joy. These vibrations attract similar energies, creating a powerful force field around you that magnetizes opportunities and possibilities. But here's the key. You can't just speak these blessings occasionally. You can't just do it when you feel good or when things are going well. Speaking blessings upon yourself must become as natural as breathing. It must become your default response to every situation, especially the challenging ones. When you face a setback, what's the first thing you say to yourself? Most people immediately launch into a litany of self-criticism. I should have known better. I always mess things up. Nothing ever works out for me. But what if instead you chose to speak blessings in those moments? What if you said, this is teaching me something valuable. I'm growing stronger through this challenge. Every setback is setting me up for a comeback. The power of speaking blessings upon yourself becomes most evident in times of adversity. Anyone can speak positively when everything is going well. The real test comes when you're facing your darkest hours. That's when your words have the most power. That's when speaking blessings can literally alter the course. What would change in your life if you became your own greatest advocate? What would shift if you spoke to yourself with the same compassion you showed to your best friend? What mountains would you move if you replaced every word of doubt with a word of blessing? You see, speaking blessings upon yourself isn't about ignoring reality. It's about creating a new reality. It's about understanding that your words are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. And just like a seed contains everything needed to become a mighty tree, your words contain everything needed to manifest your dreams. But there's something even more profound at work here. When you begin to speak blessings upon yourself, you naturally begin to speak blessings over others as well. It creates a ripple effect. Your transformed consciousness becomes a light that illuminates the path for others. Your words of self-blessing become a permission slip for others to do the same. Think about the impact you could have if you became a living example of someone who speaks life instead of death, blessings instead of curses, possibility instead of limitation. Think about how your changed consciousness could influence your family, your workplace, your community. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's not about never having a negative thought again. It's about choosing moment by moment to align your words with your highest good. It's about catching yourself when you start to speak curses and consciously choosing to speak blessings instead. Let me share a powerful practice with you. Every morning, before you do anything else, speak 3 specific blessings over yourself. Not generic positive statements, but precise, powerful declarations about who you are becoming and what you are calling forth in your life. Make these declarations in the present tense, as if they're already true. Because in the realm of spirit, they are. And here's something crucial to understand. Speaking blessings upon yourself isn't just about the big moments or the major goals. It's about the small, daily moments too. It's about blessing your efforts when you're trying something new. It's about blessing your body as you care for it. It's about blessing your mind as you learn and grow. Every moment is an opportunity to speak life or death. Choose life. There's a sacred moment that happens when you first begin to speak blessings upon yourself. It feels strange at first, almost uncomfortable, like wearing new shoes that haven't been broken in yet. Your inner critic might get louder, trying to convince you that you're being foolish, arrogant, or unrealistic. But here's what's really happening in that moment. You're breaking free from generations of conditioning. Most of us inherited patterns of self-talk from our environment. We absorbed the words spoken over us, the limitations placed upon us, the doubts expressed about us. Without realizing it, we internalized these messages and made them our own. But today, right now, you have the power to break that cycle. You have the authority to speak a new reality into existence. Let me tell you about a profound shift that occurs. When you master the art of speaking blessings upon yourself, your relationships begin to transform. Why? Because you no longer need others to validate your worth. You no longer seek approval from external sources. You become complete within yourself, and from that completeness, you can give to others without depleting yourself. Think about how much energy you've spent seeking validation from others. Think about how many decisions you've made based on what other people might think or say. When you learn to speak blessings upon yourself, that energy gets redirected. Instead of seeking approval, you begin creating. Instead of waiting for permission, but here's where many people get stuck. They say, but what if I don't believe the blessings I'm speaking? What if it feels like I'm lying to myself? This is where we need to understand something crucial. Your beliefs are not fixed. They're not carved in stone. They're more like software running on a computer. They can be updated, upgraded, and completely transformed. When you first begin speaking blessings upon yourself, there might be a gap between your words and your current reality. This gap is not a problem. It's an opportunity. It's the space where miracles happen. It's the fertile ground where new possibilities take root. Your job is not to close the gap through force of will, but to keep speaking the blessing until your consciousness expands to embrace it. Consider this. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a novice. What separated them from those who gave up wasn't talent or circumstances. It was their inner dialogue. It was the words they spoke to themselves when no one else was listening. It was their willingness to bless their efforts, even when results weren't yet visible. Here's a powerful truth that might transform your perspective. The universe doesn't judge whether you deserve a blessing. It simply responds to the vibration of your words and thoughts. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not trying to convince some cosmic judge that you're worthy. You're simply aligning yourself with the natural laws of creation. Think about water for a moment. Water doesn't judge whether a seed deserves to grow. It simply provides the conditions necessary for growth. Your words of blessing are like water. They create the conditions necessary for your dreams to manifest. They prepare the soil of your consciousness to receive the very things you're declaring. But there's something even more profound at work here. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you begin to see blessings everywhere. Your eyes open to opportunities you might have missed before. Your mind becomes attuned to possibilities that were always there but hidden from your view. It's not that the universe suddenly starts favoring you. It's that you finally align yourself with the abundance that was always available. Let me share a secret that the most successful people understand. Your outer world will always organize itself to match your inner dialogue. If you speak lack, you'll find lack everywhere. If you speak abundance, you'll discover abundance in unexpected places. If you speak peace, peace will find you. If you speak success, success will become your natural state. This isn't magical thinking. It's practical psychology combined with universal law. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're literally rewiring your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters reality and determines what you notice and what you ignore. Change your words, and you change your filters. Change your filters, and you change your experience of reality. But here's where it gets really interesting. The blessings you speak upon yourself don't just affect you. They affect everyone around you. Your children learn from your example. Your colleagues pick up on your energy. Your friends and family begin to shift their own self-talk because they see the transformation in you. Think about the legacy you're creating with your words. Every blessing you speak is like a stone thrown into a pond. It creates ripples that extend far beyond your immediate circumstance. The way you talk to yourself today will influence generations to come. The self-talk patterns you break now will free your children and your children's children from having to break them later. This is why speaking blessings upon yourself is not selfish. It's actually one of the most selfless things you can do. Because when you liberate yourself from negative self-talk, you create a space for others to do the same. When you demonstrate what's possible through the power of blessed words, you become a living testament to this truth. The real power of speaking blessings upon yourself emerges when you grasp this fundamental truth. Words are not just sounds, they're creative forces. Every time you open your mouth, you're either speaking life or death into your future. Every declaration you make is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your destiny. And most people are painting their futures with colors of doubt, fear, and limitation without even realizing it. Here's something that might shock you. Your subconscious mind processes about 400 billion bits of information every second, but your conscious mind only processes about 2,000 bits. What does this mean? It means that the words you speak to yourself are programming an incredibly powerful supercomputer that's running your life behind the scenes. When you wake up in the morning and immediately say, "I'm so tired," your subconscious mind begins creating chemical reactions in your body to match that declaration. When you face a challenge and say, "This is too hard for me," Your brain immediately begins shutting down pathways to potential solutions. Your words aren't just describing your reality. They're instructing your internal pharmacy to produce chemicals that reinforce what you've declared. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Scientific research has shown that your body can't tell the difference between a real experience and one that's vividly imagined. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not just making positive statements, you're creating neural pathways that your brain processes as real experiences. You're literally rewiring your brain circuitry through your words. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history began as a word spoken in faith. Every invention, every breakthrough, every transformation started with someone daring to declare what didn't yet exist. The Wright brothers had to speak flight into existence before they could manifest it. Every medical breakthrough began with someone speaking healing into possibility before they could prove it scientifically. You're no different. The dreams in your heart, the visions in your mind, the potential you sense within yourself, these are all waiting to be called forth through your words. But here's the challenge. Most people wait until they see evidence before they'll speak the blessing. They want proof before they'll declare victory. They want certainty before they'll proclaim abundance. This is backwards thinking. In the realm of creation, words come first, then manifestation follows. This is a universal law that operates whether you believe it or not. Just as gravity doesn't require your belief to function, the creative power of your words operates independently of your doubt or skepticism. Let me share something profound with you. Every word you speak has a frequency that ripples through the quantum field of infinite possibility. Science is now confirming what ancient wisdom has always known, that everything in the universe is energy, and energy responds to intention and declaration. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not just engaging in positive thinking, you're actually altering the energetic field around you. But here's where many people stumble. They try to speak blessings while their hearts are full of doubt. They say the right words but maintain wrong beliefs. Remembers must be aligned with your deepest beliefs to have power. This is why internal work must accompany your declarations. You must become convinced of your own worthiness to receive the blessings you're speaking. Think about a radio for a moment. If you want to hear a particular station clearly, you have to tune to its frequency exactly. You can't be off by even a small amount and expect clear reception. Similarly, your words and your beliefs must be tuned to the same frequency. When they align, that's when miracles happen. That's when the impossible becomes possible. This is why speaking blessings upon yourself isn't a one-time event. It's a practice. It's something you must do consistently, persistently, until it becomes your natural way of being. Just as an athlete doesn't become excellent through occasional practice, you don't transform your life through occasional positive words. It must become your default setting, your automatic response to every situation. Consider how many times you've talked yourself out of opportunity. How many times have you dismissed your dreams with words of doubt? How many times have you sabotaged your success before you even began, simply through the words you spoke to yourself? Now imagine what could happen if you turned that same power in the opposite direction. What if you became as skilled at speaking blessings as you've been at speaking curses? Here's another crucial understanding. Speaking blessings upon yourself isn't about denying challenges or difficulties. It's about maintaining a blessed perspective even in the midst of trials. When you face obstacles, instead of saying, "Why does this always happen to me?" you declare, "This is working together for my good." Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," you proclaim, "I am growing stronger through this challenge." The most powerful blessings often come disguised as setbacks. The universe isn't testing you. It's trying to bless you. But if your words are aligned with defeat, you'll miss the blessing hidden in the challenge. Your words create the lens through which you view every experience. Change your words, and you change your perspective. Change your perspective, and you change your experience. In this very moment, something extraordinary is stirring within you. A transformation is unfolding in your consciousness. You're beginning to recognize the immense power you've always held, the power to shape your reality through your words. And as this awareness dawns, you might feel a mix of excitement and regret. Excitement about the possibilities ahead, and perhaps regret about the time spent speaking curses instead of blessings. But here's the beautiful truth. This moment is perfect. Your recognition of this power couldn't have come at a better time, because everything in your past, every word spoken in doubt, every self-limiting declaration, every negative proclamation has served to bring you to this point of awakening. Even your mistakes have been preparing you for this moment of transformation. The real question isn't whether you possess the power to speak blessings upon yourself. You've always had that power. The question is, will you harness it intentionally from this moment forward? Will you become the master of your inner dialogue rather than its victim? Will you choose to speak life even when circumstances suggest death? Your future is waiting to be spoken into existence. The dreams you carry, the potential you sense, the destiny you feel stirring within, these aren't random thoughts or wishful thinking. They're glimpses of what's possible when you align your words with the highest truth about yourself. Consider the oak tree for a moment. Within every acorn lies the complete pattern for a mighty oak. Similarly, within your words lies the pattern for your future. Every blessing you speak contains the seed of its own fulfillment. Every declaration you make carries the energy needed for its manifestation. Here's what makes this moment so powerful. You don't have to wait for anything or anyone to begin. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't even need to feel completely confident. You just need to begin speaking blessings upon yourself and let the power of those words create new pathways in your consciousness. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your thoughts and words. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're not just making empty declarations. You're literally reshaping your neural pathways. You're creating new connections that will influence every decision, every action, and every response in your life. Think about how many times you've rehearsed failure in your mind. How many times have you practiced defeat through your words? Each time you spoke those words of doubt, you were programming your brain for exactly what you didn't want. But now you understand you can use this same power to program success, confidence, and achievement. When challenges arise, and they will, let your first response be a blessing. When doubt creeps in, and it will try to creep in, counter it immediately with words of faith and power. When others speak curses over your dreams, and some will try to do this, respond by speaking even stronger blessings over yourself. Your words are creating an energy field around you. This isn't mystical thinking, it's backed by quantum physics. Every word you speak carries a vibrational frequency that affects not only your own body and mind, but also the field of possibilities around you. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you're literally altering the energetic environment in which you exist. From this day forward, make this unshakable commitment to yourself. No more casual words of self-defeat. No more careless declarations of limitation. No more unconscious prophecies of failure. Instead, let every word that crosses your lips about yourself be chosen with intention, spoken with authority, and aligned with the highest vision of your potential. Remember this crucial truth. The world will try to label you. Society will attempt to define you. Others will seek to limit you, but their words only have the power you give them. When you become rooted in the practice of speaking blessings upon yourself, external voices lose their power to shape your reality. Think of your words as building blocks. Every time you speak, you're constructing something. You're either building bridges to your dreams or walls that block your path. You're either creating doorways to opportunity or digging ditches of limitation. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make every time you open your mouth to speak about yourself. The practice of blessing yourself isn't about reaching a destination. It's about embracing a new way of being. It's about creating a new relationship with yourself, with your dreams, with your potential. It's about recognizing that your words are not just descriptions of what is, but invitations to what could. Your words have more power than any circumstance, any past experience, or any current limitation. They can override genetic predispositions, break generational patterns, and create new possibilities where none seemed to exist before. This isn't magical thinking. It's the practical application of universal laws. Start with your morning ritual. Before your feet touch the floor, speak blessings over your day. Declare that opportunities are flowing to you. Proclaim that wisdom is guiding your decisions. Announce that strength is flowing through your body. Make these declarations with authority, knowing that your words are shaping the energy field that will surround you throughout the day. This message found you at exactly the right moment. The stirring you feel in your heart right now, the resonance you sense with these truths, that's not coincidence. That's recognition, your soul recognizing a truth it has always known but perhaps forgotten. Take this power with you. Let it infuse every moment of your day. Let it transform every challenge into an opportunity for blessing. Let it turn every mirror into a reminder to speak life over yourself. Let it make every morning an occasion for declaring new possibilities. You are not just a speaker of words. You are a creator of realities. Your mouth is not just for expressing thoughts, it's for shaping destinies. Your voice is not just for communication, it's for transformation. From this moment forward, let every word you speak about yourself be a blessing that calls forth your highest potential, your deepest truth, your most magnificent possibilities. The power has always been within you. The authority has always been yours. The ability to bless yourself has always been your birthright. Now is the time to claim it fully. Use it wisely and watch as your life transforms in response to your words of blessing. Your new life begins with your next word. Choose it wisely, speak it powerfully, and watch as the universe aligns to manifest what you declare. The time for speaking blessings upon yourself is not tomorrow, it's now. The person who needs to hear these blessings is not someone else, it's you. The voice that needs to speak them is not from outside, it's your own. Rise up, step forward, speak life. Your destiny awaits your declaration. They say the loudest voice in the room is the one that speaks only when necessary. Have you ever noticed that? How the entire atmosphere shifts when certain people finally decide to break their silence. It's not their volume that commands attention. It's the weight their words carry because they've mastered something most of us struggle with daily. The discipline of strategic silence. Success leaves clues, but they're rarely found in what successful people say. The real treasures are buried in what they deliberately choose not to say. I discovered this truth during one of life's harshest lessons. After watching a partnership dissolve over information that should have remained private, after seeing opportunities vanish because plans were revealed prematurely, after witnessing relationships fracture when vulnerabilities were shared with the wrong people, I finally understood what separates those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. The world is full of noise. Everyone broadcasting their thoughts, feelings, achievements, and struggles as if constant disclosure were some virtue. We've been conditioned to believe that transparency equals authenticity, that holding anything back is somehow dishonest. What a dangerous misunderstanding. Look around at the truly exceptional among us. The wealth builders, the innovators, the people whose lives seem to unfold with remarkable precision and momentum. They move differently through the world. They share differently. They protect certain information with unwavering discipline. Not out of fear or insecurity, but out of strategic wisdom. The most dangerous person in the world is not the one who shouts the loudest or throws the hardest punch. The most dangerous person is the one who observes everything and says nothing. Some truths hit you right in the chest. They stop you cold, make you question what you've been doing all these years. This is one of those truths. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to move through life with a mysterious advantage? They climb higher, build stronger relationships, amass greater wealth, and somehow avoid the common pitfalls that trap so many others. What do they know that most don't? I'll tell you what they know. Smart people understand the immense power of strategic silence. In a world obsessed with sharing, oversharing, and constant digital connection, the wisest among us have mastered the discipline of holding back. They've recognized that certain things, once released into the world, can never be reclaimed, and that restraint, that powerful ability to keep certain cards close to the chest, creates a foundation for extraordinary success. Today, we're going to explore the 3 things that truly smart people never share. And in understanding these boundaries, you may discover why you've been sabotaging your own potential without even realizing it. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever regretted something you didn't say? Maybe once or twice. Now, have you ever regretted something you did say? I see those nods, those pained expressions. Those are the expensive lessons, aren't they? The words that escaped in a moment of emotion. The confidence is betrayed in an attempt to impress. The vulnerabilities exposed to the wrong person at the wrong time. Words are like arrows. Once released, they cannot be recalled, no matter how desperately you might wish to take them back. They fly toward their target with irreversible momentum. Smart people know this. They've learned, sometimes the hard way, that certain things should remain unspoken, regardless of the temptation to share them. So what are these 3 sacred boundaries that the wise never cross? What are the 3 things that smart people, successful people, guard with unwavering discipline? The first thing smart people never share is their complete financial position. But wait, you might be thinking, what about transparency? What about authenticity? Shouldn't we be open about our successes and struggles? Not when it comes to the full details of your financial situation. And here's why. When you're struggling financially, sharing the depths of your troubles invites 2 dangerous responses. Pity from those who can't help you, and exploitation from those who won't help you. Neither advances your cause. And when you're thriving financially, detailing your success invites jealousy, requests for handouts, and puts a target on your back for everyone from distant relatives to outright scammers. Smart people understand that your financial information is like blood in the water. It attracts sharks. It changes how people see you and interact with you, and rarely for the better. Consider this. How many lottery winners have had their lives destroyed after their sudden wealth became public knowledge? How many successful entrepreneurs have watched relationships crumble once friends and family discovered the true scale of their success? Your financial position is your business. It's a private matter between you, your immediate family, and possibly a trusted financial advisor. Everyone else gets to know only what serves your strategic interests for them to know. Nothing more. I'm not hiding my success, he told me. I'm protecting it, and more importantly, I'm protecting what that success allows me to do for the people I truly care about. Smart people share financial principles, not financial positions. They'll teach you how to fish, but they won't tell you how many fish they've caught or exactly where their fishing spots are. They understand that mysteries maintain magnetism. The moment you lay all your cards on the table, you lose a certain power, the power of possibility in others' minds. So ask yourself, who really needs to know your complete financial picture? Who benefits from that knowledge? And most importantly, do you benefit from sharing it? The second thing smart people never share is their next big move. Have you noticed how the most successful people seem to surprise everyone with their achievements? One day they're working quietly, and the next they've launched something remarkable. It seems like they went from 0 to 60 overnight. The reality? They've been building, planning, and executing for months or years in silence. Smart people understand that prematurely sharing your plans activates 2 destructive forces: external resistance and internal satisfaction. External resistance comes from the world pushing back against your ambitions. Some will discourage you out of genuine concern. Others will discourage you because your growth threatens them. Some might even try to beat you to the punch or undermine your efforts. Why give them the chance? Why give anyone the opportunity to place obstacles in your path before you've built enough momentum to overcome them? But the internal satisfaction might be even more dangerous. There's a strange psychological phenomenon that occurs when you talk about your goals. You get a small hit of satisfaction, almost as if you've already achieved them. Studies have shown that announcing your intentions makes you less likely to follow through. Why? Because talking about your plans triggers the same pleasure centers in your brain that actually accomplishing them would. You get the reward. without doing the work. Smart people shield their ambitions until the proper moment, not out of insecurity, but out of strategic wisdom. They understand that ideas exposed too early can wither under scrutiny or be stolen by those with more resources but less creativity. Look at history's greatest innovations and achievements. They weren't developed in a town square with the creator narrating each step to a crowd. They were developed in laboratories, workshops, quiet rooms, spaces protected from both external criticism and premature celebration. Your next big move deserves the same protection. It deserves to develop in fertile soil, not to be trampled by skeptics or diluted by yes men before it has a chance to take root. I'm not suggesting you never seek feedback or collaborate. I'm suggesting you choose very carefully who gets to see your vision while it's still vulnerable, who has earned that level of trust, who has demonstrated that they want your success as much as they want their own. For everyone else, let your moves speak for themselves after they're made. The third thing smart people never share is the depths of their personal struggles. This one might surprise you. In an era that celebrates vulnerability and authenticity, suggesting that you keep your deepest challenges private might seem counterintuitive, even regressive. But smart people understand that there's a vast difference between authentic connection and unfiltered disclosure. They know that sharing your struggles with everyone is like handing out keys to your emotional house, and not everyone deserves access to every room. When you're going through something difficult, whether it's health issues, relationship problems, professional setbacks, or inner demons, you're in a vulnerable state. Your defenses are lowered. Your judgment may be compromised, and your need for support may lead you to confide in people who aren't equipped to help you or who won't respect the sensitivity of what you've shared. Smart people are selective about who gets to witness their struggles. They build an inner circle of confidants who have proven their loyalty, wisdom, and discretion. These are the few who get to see behind the curtain. The ones who have earned the right to know your truths, including the painful ones. For everyone else, smart people share their struggles selectively and strategically after they've processed them, learned from them, and transformed them into wisdom that can serve others. This isn't about maintaining a false image of perfection. It's about understanding that timing matters, context matters, and the ripple effects of your disclosures matter. Consider then, when you're in the middle of a storm, you're not in the best position to narrate it. You're focused on survival, on finding shelter, on making it through. The middle of your crisis is rarely the best time to broadcast it to the world. But after the storm, after you found your footing again, that's when you can share your experience in a way that both honors your journey and potentially helps others navigate similar challenges. Smart people understand that their darkest moments aren't for public consumption. They're sacred spaces of transformation that deserve protection during their most volatile phases. And here's something else to consider. Not everyone who expresses interest in your struggles has your best interest at heart. Some feed on the drama of others' lives. Some collect vulnerabilities like ammunition to be used later. Some simply don't know how to hold space for pain without making it about themselves. Your struggles are not entertainment. They're not currency for social connection. They're intensely personal journeys that deserve to be shared only with those who have demonstrated they know how to walk alongside you without trying to hijack your path. So, what are these three principles of strategic silence? Protecting your financial position, guarding your next big move, and being selective about sharing your struggles. They all recognize that information is power. And like any form of power, it must be wielded with intention and wisdom. In a culture that often equates disclosure with authenticity, choosing privacy can feel almost rebellious. But smart people understand that true authenticity isn't about revealing everything. It's about being intentional with what you reveal and why. They know that certain information in the wrong hands or at the wrong time doesn't just lose its value. It can actively work against your interests and undermine your potential. So let me ask you, what have you been sharing that might be better protected? What parts of your life have you been broadcasting that deserve more selective disclosure? Where might strategic silence serve you better than continuous commentary? The answers to these questions might illuminate why certain goals remain elusive, why certain relationships feel imbalanced, why certain opportunities never quite materialize. Because here's the truth. In a world where everyone is fighting for attention by sharing more, the real power often lies with those who share less, but with greater purpose and to greater effect. Smart people aren't secretive because they have something to hide. They're selective because they have something to protect their peace, their potential, and their power to choose the narrative of their own lives. So the next time you feel the urge to share something significant, whether it's a financial win, an ambitious plan, or a personal struggle, pause. Ask yourself, does this need to be shared? With whom? The answer might change your life. Because some of the most powerful words you'll ever speak are the ones you choose not to say. And some of the most valuable things you'll ever own are the truths you decide to keep for yourself. This doesn't mean living in isolation or withholding connection. It means understanding that boundaries aren't barriers. They're the foundations upon which meaningful connections are built. They're not walls. They're filters that ensure what you share serves both you and those with whom you share it. Smart people never share these three things indiscriminately because they understand a fundamental truths. Not everyone has earned access to all of you, and that's not just okay. It's essential for both your well-being and your success. Your financial position, your next big move, your deepest struggles, these are sacred aspects of your journey. They deserve protection. They deserve intention. They deserve to be shared only when, how, and with whom you consciously choose. Because in the end, what you don't share can be just as defining as what you do. The most successful person in any room is rarely the one talking the most. It's often the one observing everything and saying only what advances their purpose. It's the one who has mastered the art of strategic silence. And that mastery is available to you, starting today with your very next interaction. What will you choose to keep closed? What power might you reclaim by closing certain doors that have been left open too long? The answers could transform everything, because smart people never share these three things. And now neither will you. Have you ever stopped to consider just how much of yourself you give away every single day? Every casual conversation, every social media post, every offhand remark, they're all pieces of yourself scattered to the wind. And once released, you can never fully reclaim them. Most people live with their hearts and minds wide open. Boundaries non-existent, filters disabled. They operate as if radical transparency is the highest virtue, as if holding anything back is somehow dishonest or inauthentic. What a costly misconception. Think about the most respected, most successful people you know. Do they tell everyone everything? Do they broadcast their financial details to the world? Do they announce every plan before it's executed? Do they process their deepest pain publicly in real time? Or do they move with a certain mystery about them? A certain sovereignty over their own narrative? I'm willing to bet it's the latter. Because truly successful people understand something fundamental. Discretion isn't deception, it's discernment. And discernment may be one of the most underrated virtues in modern society. Let's go deeper into each of these three areas that smart people protect with unwavering discipline. Your financial position, this goes beyond simply not flashing cash or talking about your salary. This is about understanding that money conversations change relationship dynamics in subtle but profound ways. When people know you have more than they do, expectations shift. Resentments can form. Your generosity becomes expected rather than appreciated. Together, these three areas of strategic silence, financial position, future plans, and personal struggles, create a powerful foundation for both success and well-being. They establish boundaries that protect your most valuable assets, your peace of mind, your forward momentum, and your authentic connections. In a world that increasingly treats privacy as suspicious and restraint as inauthentic, establishing these boundaries might feel countercultural. You might face pushback from those accustomed to unrestricted access to your inner world. You might even question yourself, wondering if you're being too guarded or not authentic enough. But consider this. True authenticity isn't about revealing everything to everyone. It's about living in alignment with your values and engaging with others in ways that honor both your truth and your boundaries. Smart people understand that some truths are meant to be shared widely, some are meant to be shared selectively, and some are meant to be held close, at least for a time. Discerning the difference isn't deception, it's wisdom. So as you move forward, I challenge you to examine your patterns of disclosure. Where might you benefit from more intentional boundaries? Where have you perhaps been sharing too freely, too quickly, or with the wrong people? What might change if you held your financial position more privately? If you protected your next big move until it gained unstoppable momentum? If you were more selective about who gets to witness your struggles while they're still raw? The changes could be profound. Relationships might deepen with those who've truly earned your trust. Progress toward goals might accelerate without the drag of premature exposure. Your sense of personal power might expand as you reclaim control over your own narrative. Because that's what this is ultimately, claiming your power to choose. To choose what you share, when you share it, how you share it, and with who. In a culture that increasingly pushes for constant visibility and total accessibility, this reclamation becomes a radical act of self-respect. It becomes a declaration that your life is your own, not content for others' consumption, not an open book for casual browsing, but a carefully curated experience shaped by your intentions and protected by your boundaries. Smart people never share these three things indiscriminately because they understand the immense value of what they'd be giving away. They recognize that certain information isn't just private. It's precious. Your financial position represents your security and options. Your next big move represents your potential and aspirations. Your personal struggles represent your growth and resilience. All three deserve fierce protection from casual exposure. All three benefit from intentional sharing rather than automatic disclosure. So the next time you feel the urge to share something significant, or the pressure to do so, ask yourself, has this person or group earned access to this part of my life? Will sharing this information serve my highest good? Am I choosing this disclosure or am I responding to external expectations? The answers might change everything about how you engage with the world and how the world engages with you. Because in the realm of personal information, less is often more. Strategic silence often speaks volumes. And the things you choose not to share may ultimately protect the very possibilities you most want to create. Smart people know this. Now you do too. The path of strategic silence isn't always easy. It requires discipline when you're excited about a new venture. It demands restraint when others are pressing for details. It calls for discernment when cultural currents push toward indiscriminate sharing. But the rewards, they're immeasurable. Peace that comes from knowing your most valuable information is protected. Power that emerges when you control your own narrative. Progress that accelerates when your goals are shielded from premature exposure and criticism. This is the wisdom of those who achieve uncommon success. Not because they know more than others, but because they understand better what to do with what they know, including when not to share it at all. It's available to you right now with your very next interaction. What will you choose to keep close? What power might you reclaim by closing certain doors that have been left open too long? The answers could transform everything because smart people never share these three things. And perhaps starting today, neither will you. The most dangerous person in the world is not the one who shouts the loudest or throws the hardest punch. The most dangerous person is the one who observes everything and says nothing. Remember that. Live that. And watch how your world changes. The real masters of life aren't those who accumulate the most knowledge. They're those who apply the most wisdom to what they already know. And sometimes the highest wisdom is knowing when to remain silent. Consider the ardent. The most beautiful flowers don't bloom continuously. They cycle through periods of dormancy, gathering strength below the surface where no one can see. They withdraw, they conserve, they protect their essence until the perfect moment arrives for expression. You are no different. Your ideas, your financial journey, your personal challenges, they all benefit from periods of protected development. They all grow stronger when shielded from casual observation and careless commentary. This isn't about living in secretive isolation. It's about recognizing that not all soil is fertile for your most precious seeds. Some environments nourish growth, others stunt it. Smart people know the difference and they plant accordingly.
I've watched countless promising ventures with it because they were exposed too soon. I've seen brilliant ideas diluted by too many opinions before they were fully formed. I've witnessed personal transformations interrupted because they were subjected to public scrutiny before they had sufficient strengths.
Don't make these mistakes. Protect what matters most. Create sacred space for your most valuable work, both the work you do in the world and the work you do within yourself. The most powerful moves in any game are often the ones your opponent never sees coming. Not because you've been deceptive, but because you've been disciplined enough to develop them privately until the perfect moment for revelation. Society pushes us toward constant disclosure, as if holding anything back were somehow inauthentic or suspicious. Resist this pressure. Understand that boundaries aren't barriers to connection. They're the foundations that make meaningful connection possible. Your financial position, your next big move, your personal struggles. These aren't public property. They're sacred aspects of your journey that deserve protection, intention, and selective sharing based on earned trust rather than casual curiosity. Master this discipline. Embrace the power of strategic silence and watch as your life transforms, not through any magical new information, but through the conscious protection of the valuable information you already possess. Because in the end, what separates extraordinary outcomes from ordinary ones often isn't what you know. It's how wisely you guard what you know until the right time, in the right way, with the right people. A lot of wisdom is available to you now. Will you claim it? Dishco Support speaking. As an FII, this call will be monitored for quality assurance and training purposes. Let me pull up your details quickly. Give me just a second. Then you tell me your account email or phone number to confirm your identity. Okay, there you are. So, what specs are you looking for in the upgrade? Any specific features or stuff that you've got your eye on?